Katie, are we all set to go?
We're still missing several people.
Okay.
Give me one second.
Good morning, everyone. If you have applied for the Wetchler Award, if you would please raise your hand if you're in the attendee room instead of the panelist room, and just let us know. We're going to add all of our applicants to the panelists area. We're very excited to start off this morning's program with the announcement and presentation of the Damon Runyon-Jake Wetchler Award for Pediatric Innovation. This is an award that's quite special to us. It's given in honor and in memory of Jake Wetchler, and you'll hear more from Jake's father, John, this morning. And so I want to just, start by, before I turn it over to John, I want to start by thanking all of you who submitted applications for this award. It's a little bit like the Oscars, where we don't announce the award winner until the day of and the presentation. Typically we would be doing this in person live at the retreat, but we're glad to still be able to handle it this way by Zoom. We ask that all of the panelists keep their video open to add to the suspense and the surprise and excitement of the whole thing. And so I do want to also say a special thank you to Lucy Godley and Peter Cole from our selection committees, who work with us each and every year to help select the awardees of this very special award. So thank you to Lucy and to Peter. I'm going to now turn it over to John Wetchler for the award presentation. John?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. I'm speaking to you today on behalf of my son, Jake Wetchler. Jake died at the age of 20 from acute myeloid leukemia after beating stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma when he was 19. Jake was a difference maker. When he learned after chemotherapy and after radiation treatment and after a stem cell transplant that he was going to die, he asked that the money he had saved go to pediatric cancer research. His reasoning was he didn't want other kids to have to go through what he did. Jake didn't die because he lacked the physical strength or the fortitude it took to survive the treatments. He had all of these things in spades. Jake was a deeply thoughtful young man, and one of the main tenets of the code he lived by was that self-discipline is the ultimate freedom. He followed all of the medical advice he received. He also had great physical strength and vigor. This is a guy who one day, for the fun of it, did 1,000 push-ups. Jake had terrific, talented, and caring doctors at Children's Hospital in Philadelphia and at Sloan Kettering in New York. The reason Jake died was because the treatments available just weren't sufficient. And it may well be that it was the chemo he received for Hodgkin's that gave him the leukemia that killed him. When Jake was first diagnosed, the doctors described to him how chemotherapy worked. Jake's response was right to the point. I get it. It's supposed to kill me, just not all of me. When Jake was treated for Hodgkin's, he received large doses of a drug called etoposide, which has a known association with secondary acute leukemias. But that was part of the best treatment around, and he was at one of the best hospitals around. Now, every life has a measurable value, and each of you here is in the unique position to help save lives. I'm here this morning to encourage you to try to save the lives of young people, to focus on cures for pediatric cancer. As you may know, cancer is the leading cause of disease-related death in children, and most pediatric cancer treatments haven't changed very much in decades and can be highly toxic. No one deserves to get sick and die, but if there ever was an injustice, it's that children suffer from cancer, and the available treatments are inadequate and dangerous. My words today cannot adequately describe what it is like to be a kid with cancer. So here's what I would like to do. I would urge you on a Friday night to walk the halls of a pediatric cancer unit at Sloan in New York or CHOP in Philly, or pick a hospital near you. I've spent many Friday nights at these places. Stop in a room or two if you have a smile or a kind word to offer. The bustle of the week will be over, and all that's left are the kids, their fears, their hopes, and their dreams. Many will die as my son died, because we don't yet have the science to effectively treat many pediatric cancers. Now, I'm no scientist, but I understand that Einstein said this about research and discovery in his own field. The state of mind which enables a person to do work of this kind is akin to that of the religious worshiper or lover. The daily effort comes from no deliberate intention or program, but straight from the heart. Who deserves your help more than these young patients who should be able to live their lives? Research and discovery coming from the heart? Think about it. The Jake Wetchler Foundation, together with the Damon Runyon Cancer Research Foundation, funds an annual award for innovative researchers in the fight against pediatric cancer. We wish to recognize scientists whose research helps to fight back against pediatric cancer. We hope that their and your innovative ideas and hard work may one day lead to cures so that young people like Jake can live. Before I announce this year's award winner, allow me to quote Einstein once again. One thing I have learned in a long life, that all our science measured against reality is primitive and childlike, and yet it is the most precious thing that we have. It's now my honor to present this year's award to Dr. Dian for his exemplary and innovative work. I apologize to Dr. Yang and you for not being able to describe the science involved in his work. I understand that Dr. Yang is applying novel technology to understand the molecular basis of metastasis and resistance in osteosarcoma, the most common form of pediatric bone cancer. His innovative work enables the tracing of tumor evolution at unprecedented resolution and holds great promise for discovering new mechanisms of clonal evolution. Now, Dr. Yang is presenting at 12, so stay tuned. Dr. Yang, I'd like to shake your hand, which I can't do virtually, but allow me to give you a wave. It's the best I can do to thank you for your fine work and dedication. Can all of you please join me in giving Dr. Yang a virtual round of applause?
Thank you.
I also would like to thank Damon Runyon reviewers Peter Cole and Lucy Godley for reviewing the very impressive application submitted this year. To Dr. Yang and all of you, thanks for all that you do.
Thank you, Doctor.
Dian, would you like to say anything more? If you'd like to say a few words, you're welcome to.
Yeah. So I really I feel really honored. I guess actually this award is not just for me, but for all the pediatric researchers, because every of us contribute a little, but then you will contribute a lot to the whole field. And pediatric cancer is definitely a very important aspect of cancer biology. And as Dr. Wetchler said, there's a lot of things still well known, not known yet, and the therapy is still very limited for many of the pediatric cancer types. Yeah, so I will talk more about my research during my time slot. today, yeah, that's one part of my project. I'm not really going to mainly talk about it, but I'm more talking about the model that we build and try to look into the pediatric cancer problems. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. And Peter and Lucy, I would invite you if you'd like to share a few words. You're more than welcome to, not to put you on the spot, but we would love to hear from you if you'd like to say anything.
Well, sure, I can. First, I just want to thank the Wetchlers for sponsoring this award. It's so important when you're young and starting out to have inspiration, and getting more money to do your work is one of the best ways, I think, to inspire you. And so I really thank you for standing up and contributing the funding for this. And Dian and the other applicants, we're very excited about all the work you're doing. And so please keep working hard. And I agree that each one of us makes a small advance, and collectively we push things forward. So thank you all, and congratulations, Dian.
And I'll echo what Lucy said, thanking the Wetchlers. Every year I look forward to crying a little bit when I hear about Jake, and I think about him as well as the other patients I take care of, who are really our inspiration for continuing with what we do in science. But at the same time, I'm also inspired by all of you. I look forward every year to reading the proposals and the applications, hearing about the great science and the work that you're all doing. And I wish we could encourage all of you in the same way. But thank you to you for the work that you guys are doing.
Thank you all so much. John, any final words before we close out this session? I want to extend our thanks on behalf of all of us at Damon Runyon to the Wetchler Foundation for your partnership and support over the years, and for bringing continued attention to the importance and impact of the pediatric research that is being conducted not only by our pediatric cancer focused researchers, but by all of our scientists who have an interest in having their research apply to potential impact to pediatric cancers. So thank you for all that you've done and for your partnership.
No, thank you, Young. It's a privilege to speak to you all today, and I thank you all for the opportunity.